My name is Michael Spender. I'm the Museum and Arts Manager for the Borough of Poole. 25 years ago today, Sea Music, this monumental sculpture by the late Sir Anthony Caro, was unveiled by Lord Peter Colombo, Chairman of the Arts Council of Great Britain. In 1991, there was no Angel of the North by Sir Anthony Gormley. There was no Orbit by Sir Anish Kapoor. Caro's Sea Music may be seen as a forerunner of these and other large, iconic public sculptural projects. It was a great commitment by all involved in the project from 1989 to 1991 to bring this extraordinary sculpture, the only major site-specific work by one of the world's greatest sculptors of the late 20th century, here to Poole Quay. Lord Colombo can't be with us today, but has promised to be here when we hope to celebrate the conservation and repainting of Sea Music in May 2017, which I'll refer to in a moment. However, a number of those who were involved in 1991 are here today. They include Patrick Cunningham, who worked with Caro for more than 4 decades, Paul Caro, the artist's son, Tom Roberts and Jenny Sturridge from Poole Arts Council, who commissioned the work, and Tom as Borough Architect responsible for the viewing platforms, Deputy Mayor of Poole, Councillor Anne Stribley, who was Chair of the Council's Planning Committee at the time, Ian Andrews, who was the Chief Executive of the Council, and Hattie Miles, who took the photographs for the Echo, which were used in an exhibition about sea music in Scatman's Court Museum in 1994 and are now again on display in Poole Museum. Making and installing Sea Music was only possible because Caro and many Poole businesses generously donated their time, expertise and materials, too many to list now, but thus avoiding any cost to the Council and the people of Poole. Equally today, as we embark on a programme of conservation and repainting, the Council is not having to bear the costs. Storms such as yesterday's and the seaside environment have corroded the sculpture, and it is in need of conservation, otherwise it will be at serious risk. The Heritage Lottery Fund have supported the development phase of this conservation project, and we now have an application in for funding of the main works themselves. In 2013, when we contacted Sir Anthony Caro to say that we wanted to carry out this conservation and celebration project, he asked if we could repaint Sea Music using the original blue colour, which was not used in an earlier restoration, but also to paint the viewing platforms which we're standing on, and that are such an integral part of the work, but paint these silver so that the sculpture itself can visually be better distinguished from them. And it is our intention to carry out the artist's wishes. We're also planning a wide-ranging arts and activities programme to celebrate Sea Music, which we believe has been undervalued and unrecognised for its international importance and its potential to be a major cultural tourist attraction for Poole. Before introducing our speakers, I'd like to thank a few of the many partners and supporters of the project so far and planned for next year. Barford Sculptures, the artist studio, and in particular Paul Caro and Patrick Cunningham, Lady Madeline Bessborough and Stephen Feek of the New Art Centre Roach Court, Emma Carr of the Roach Court Educational Trust, and Michael Armstrong of Sandstorm Music Education Agency. Thanks to many artists and performers with whom we're working, artist and photographer David Ward, composer Jim Aitchison, the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra, the Villian Dance, Valise Noire, and a number of artists, including students from Bournemouth and Poole College, who are now working in one of our galleries in the museum. Many people from the museum and council are involved in the project, and I would single out Sea Music Project Manager Melinda McShane, John Curley, who will oversee the conservation work, and our dedicated group of volunteers, Anna, Becky, Deborah, Denise, George and Mike. Finally, thank you to the Heritage Lottery Fund for its support to date and we hope in the future. If we are successful with our bid in December, we still need to raise more match funding for the project. So if you feel you can help, please donate in one of our collecting buckets. And if you'd like to be associated with the project in a bigger way, please speak to a member of our team. We've all got brown Sea Music stickers on. You can also show your love of sea music by tweeting a selfie using the Love Sea Music hashtag. I'd now like to invite Mr. Poole Caro to speak.
I'm incredibly pleased that Poole has taken sea music into its heart. It's wonderful to see it here. The Caros have always loved Dorset. We feel we become sane after the madness of London, and we have a little cottage down the coast near Swanage. I think this is one of the most significant public sculptures by my father anywhere in Britain. I tried to think about other ones he's done, and if you go across to Beaubourg near Calais and Dunkirk, you can visit the Chapel of Light, which is another significant public work. But in England, this is certainly the most important one he has ever done. It's a wonderful sculpture. I sometimes wonder why it works so well, and I think that it seems to reach up and attempt to aspires to grasp the sky and grasp the horizon beyond. But it has a feeling of a lyrical aspiration to reach out and grasp. This sculpture was not only created by my father. Tom Roberts was the architect involved in really doing a lot for this work. Anne Scribley here was very, very important. She was the mayor at the time and was absolutely crucial for the project. I want to thank Michael Spender for everything he's done. And in the Poole Museum in May, we're having an exhibition of small sculptures called the Concerto series, made of bronze and wood and things. They're very beautiful. And there's going to be a larger sculpture outside. It's actually red and gold. It looks a bit like the fire engine, which worries me a bit, but it's a lovely sculpture. Madeline Bessborough and Stephen Feek have been incredibly important for all the projects around this sculpture. Madeline has been a great supporter of art and a great supporter of my father's for many years. Stephen and Madeline have organised an exhibition up at the New Arts Centre in Roche Court, which is the house that actually was made for Nelson, but he never got to live in it because he died at the Battle of Trafalgar. And it's up by Salisbury, and you should go and visit it. It's a lovely country house, and the grounds are full of sculptures. At Roche Court at the moment is an exhibition of work by my father and some of his assistants. I really recommend you go and see it. I was up there on Saturday for the opening. It's a lovely show. Other work that Roche Court has been involved with is the placing of a big sculpture called Aurora outside the Lloyd's building in the City of London. So if you happen to be in London, go down and have a look at Aurora outside the Lloyd's building. It works rather well with the Rogers building. I'm so pleased and so happy that you've all come here today. I feel I should get you all to sing in groups right now, but I won't. I'll leave that for the kids. But I'd like to end by saying, we love Poole. So you can shout that back at me if you like.
Thank you very much, Paul. I'd now like to introduce Councillor Anne Scribley, Deputy Mayor of Poole.
Thank you, everyone. Delighted to be here this afternoon. As Michael said earlier, I was Mayor 26 years ago. I was also Chairman of the Planning Committee, and I'm afraid we were rather a lot of Philistines. And we were asked if we could approve a public sculpture on Poole Quay, and we quite liked the look of it, but nobody was very convinced. There was some talk about, well, wouldn't it be better if it had some viewing platforms around it so it would be useful as well? But at the end of the debate, I was delegated to go and visit Sir Anthony's studio in Camden in London, and if I thought it was okay, then I could approve it and the planning permission would be issued. Well, I took a local councillor up with me, Brian Leverett, who later became leader of Poole Council. We both saw the maquette, the model of the sculpture, and we both fell in love with it. And there was simply no doubt about it. We were delighted to give permission, and every time I come to the quay and see it, it brings a smile to my face. And I think most people, it lifts their spirits. It's simply wonderful, and it's brilliant also to be able to come up close to the sculpture, to be able to touch it, see it at close quarters, and also to view the wonderful heritage that we have in the town and the harbour behind us. I'd spent 10 years working at Poole College, where we had a Henry Moore sculpture just sitting on the grass outside the window. And it was amazing then to learn that Sir Anthony had been one of Henry Moore's students. He has produced the most fantastic sculpture for Poole. I think we're all really proud of it. And although all that time ago I was 26 years younger and probably 26 pounds or more lighter, it's still a great sculpture to come and look at and a great place to come. And long may it reign over Poole. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Stribley. And now the moment we have been particularly looking forward to, which is supported by the Doyley Cart Charitable Trust, who we thank. I'm delighted to introduce Canford Heath Junior School's Year 3 pupils, who are going to perform Sea Music, Sculpture into Song. Thank you very much. That was absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much to everybody, especially to our pupils from Canford Heath Junior School, for coming to this short anniversary event. There's much more to see indoors in Poole Museum, where we have a display telling the sea music story, and Bournemouth and Poole College students exploring sea music. Thank you for coming.